Tribe. How you guys doing? This is going to be a quick drop. Look, this is going to be a review of the Queen Supreme Court from last night. Now, I haven't done a review in a long time, and I'm going to tell you why. Part of the reason why I have not done a review in a long time is because I felt like I was just saying the same thing over and over again, right? I didn't feel like I was really bringing anything of substance to the review. So I stopped doing it. I said, when I watch the show and something hits me, then I'm going to put my 2 cents in. But just to keep doing a review saying, okay, this is what the show was, and this is the host, and this is good, and that was me. That's how I felt. But, baby, that show last night, let me get my light. That show last night was everything from beginning to end. When I say from beginning to end, I mean from beginning to end. I love the green screens. I love what Maddie had on. I wasn't sure how I was gonna feel about this cussing pastor. Let me tell you, so here's my 2 cents on the cussing pastor. I've only seen a few video clips from him. So with that being said, I didn't have a major opinion one way or the other. I don't have a really big problem with him cussing and drinking and making it plain, because I feel like that's part of the problem with organized religion now, is that we have too many people that's not making it plain. I just never had a problem with the cussing. I had a problem with some of the statements he made, some of the things I felt were homophobic and so forth. And we're going to get to that in a second. So we had the cussing pastor on there who poured him a nasty cognac. Wasn't it Cavassier? That's cognac, right? All I drink is, y'all know I drink whiskey, so I don't know. But yes, I got some Cavassier on my bar now. Yeah, I guess, yeah. A good old nasty, okay, drink. And the topics are, I took notes and everything, y'all. I took notes and everything for y'all. So we started off with Kim Burrell, which, baby. And here's where we got off on a really good topic. And let me say this. I know that I don't want to tell too much, but I know Maddie and Craig are working on some upcoming projects. I think the Cussing Pastor would be a great guest or addition to that project. I don't want to talk too much on it because they told us when we went to the brunch. So I don't want to speak too much on it. But I think that, especially this topic right here, when we start talking about, we have to start talking, and we have to be honest with each other about generation. Give me a second, y'all. I'm going left for a minute. Understanding generational ignorance. Now, a lot of people get mad when they hear the word ignorant, because ignorant has become this negative thing. Ignorant just means you don't know. And what I mean by generational ignorance, something that the Cussing pastor said, he was like, look, I'm 60-some years old. Okay. When I was growing up, it wasn't a slur to call somebody a sissy. It wasn't a slur to call somebody the F word. These weren't slurs, right? He was like, so you got to educate me. It's not that I'm trying to be, he said, because at the end of the day, love who you want to love, have sex with who you want to have sex with, and how you want to have sex with them. We have all fallen short of the glory of God. We all got an X next to our name, and we all trying to get into heaven just like everybody else. One sin ain't no better than the other. So I don't hate gay people. I use that language because growing up, it wasn't a problem. It wasn't a homophobic thing to say. And for Maddie's piece in it to say, you know what, I get it and I understand, but this is where we are now. And for him to receive it, and even later on in the episode when he was getting ready to use the word drag queen, he asked Maddie, is that okay? Can I use that word? Because again, what that says to me is he sincerely didn't want to be offensive. He just really, I have family members who say things and I'm like, you can't say that. And they're like, why not? I mean, I don't really want to get into the slurs, but they use slurs for Asian people. They use slurs for Mexican people. They use slurs for, gay people. And I have to say to them, you can't say that. And they're like, I've been saying that my whole life. I've been saying it my whole life. I have family members who fought in Vietnam, and they're going to keep calling them all the slurs that they called them when they were in them jungles fighting them. So sometimes everybody ain't racist or homophobic because they say something that's out of context or they say something that is not acceptable. Sometimes it's just all they know. But when you take, instead of yelling and, oh, you're racist, you're homophobic, oh, we're gonna boycott, oh, we're gonna stop talking, la 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 la. Instead of going to the extreme, why don't sometimes people just talk and have a conversation? And I'm off my, as James would say, I'm off my soapbox. Now let's get back. So they had a good conversation about homophobia and slurs and stuff like that. And they talked about Kim Burrell. Y'all know Kim Burrell just gonna be Kim Burrell. Kim Burrell is ignorant. Kim Burrell likes being ignorant. I think Kim Burrell gets off on the negative attention as much as anything else, because at this point, you know what you're saying, and you know you've been around enough gay people to know what's offensive and what isn't. You don't have to like somebody's lifestyle to respect them. I'm sorry, you just don't. There are people who live a life that I would never live, but as long as they ain't breaking nobody's law, you know you can respect them and say, you know what, that ain't how I'm living my life. That ain't how I feel. But to each his own, and keep it moving. But anyway, so that's that Kim Burrell shit. Um, Juanita Bynum. The pastor brought up a good point about Juanita Bynum, y'all. He said that he think that they didn't have Juanita Bynum money, that her money was funny, and she didn't want to look like the bad guy. And so she made up something to get out of it. But he said, and I said, you know what? That makes a lot of sense. Because see, when you're doing things in the name of charity or in the name of the Lord and your money ain't right, people expect you to keep on working anyway, right? And so when Juanita got there, her money was funny. Instead of her bowing out saying they didn't pay me, because see, she knew that would look bad. She came up with something that she thought people would understand. Now, I don't know why she thought people would understand that whole he looked at my underwear and I felt uncomfortable piece, but okay. But I think that was a good point, Pastor. I think that was a good point. Brian McKnight, y'all, we talked about that on my live this weekend. They agree with me. We agree with Brian McKnight. Those are some spoiled ass brats. They need to go on out and get a job and keep it moving. But the pastor said something. They got up on a whole nother conversation. Pastor said pussy should never be free. He said whole pussy is free pussy. He said pussy should always come with a price. I said, that's interesting. And if you think about it, a lot of times it does anyway. You might not be putting a price on it saying it's $100 an hour, but think about it. Think about it. It already come with a price. Moving on. Jay-Z Jay-Z in the NFL versus Colin Kaepernick. Again, we talked about this weekend on my live, and we're gonna probably talk about it again on the podcast. I don't think there really is a right or wrong answer to it. I really think it's all about what you think the end goal should be. Once again, we talking about capitalism. We talking about what's the best way to be an activist, what's the best way to erect change, and whose approach is better. So they did talk about that. Wendy versus 50 Cent. Seems like 50 Cent had a party. Wendy tried to get in and was told, no, ma'am. Excuse me, ma'am. I need you to get behind that line. Ma'am. I need you to get behind that line, ma'am. You can't come in. And why did you think you could? We know that 50 Cent is the pettiest mofo in the game. Somebody else might have been like, oh, I know, Wendy, I know me and you be beefing, but you can come on into my party. I don't know what made you think. You know 50 Cent petty like that. Y'all know 50. I'm surprised he ain't videotape it and post it of Wendy standing outside trying to get in. Like, I'm surprised. That's just how petty he is. And he may have, and I just ain't seen it. That's the level of petty that 50 Cent is on. Y'all know that. What made you think he was going to let you in that party? Child. T-Pain, you's an ignorant nigga. You lost $40 million in 2 years. $40 million in 2 years. $40 million in 2 years. Child. And we already know that Maddie hold a penny till it screams. So she just don't have no concept. Neither do I really. Like that, like I'll waste some money, but $40 million in 2 years, is you crazy? Child. Todd Chrisley and them taxes. Pastor brought up a good point because they got off talking about they got off talking about shoot. Wesley Snipes, and they were talking later on Vincent Herbert. Now both of them are in tax problem, and he was like, "Look, you got to pay them white people their money because like I know, once you make a certain amount of money, you're a black person, you fair game, and if they can't get you one way, they're gonna get you another way." And Vincent Herbert will end up doing jail time, and the Chrisleys will get a spinoff. The Chrisleys will put it in their show. It'll become a part of their show next season. Their tax problems, and they're gonna get off. Vincent Herbert will find his ass in jail. He right. No lies detected here. No lies detected here. The drunk flight attendant. Child. I just would have been mad she didn't share with me. If you getting drunk, we getting drunk. That's all I'm saying. If you pouring, pour two. And I won't snitch. If you getting drunk, pour me one. And then and we good. But anyway. And then they got off on Miss Evelyn and Judge Mathis, baby. Poor Maddie. These people be coming on the show, and Maddie is friends with some of these people behind the scenes and have relationships. And Maddie tried her best to stay out of that one. She did a good job of staying out of that one, but y'all know how Tamar get. You know Tamar, she gonna probably go off anyway, even though Maddie ain't say nothing. And Maddie kept saying that she liked Miss Evelyn and she loved Miss Evelyn. I don't know, so we gonna wait and see. But it seemed like that Miss Evelyn and Judge Maybelline have a radio show, which I didn't know nothing about. I guess it's in Atlanta, and they proceeded to have a conversation about the cussing pastor and how he, because he cusses and these other things that, basically they don't like him and people shouldn't support him and things of that nature. And the one thing I will say is this: the next time I'm in Memphis, I'm coming to your church. And I mean, and I have a friend that lives in Memphis. The next time I come to Memphis, I am coming to your church. I'm gonna make sure that my flight leaves Sunday afternoon so I could come and get a word, because I think I would get something from you, cussing pastor. And I don't know your real name, so I apologize. I think I would really get something from you. I enjoyed you thoroughly. I didn't know what I was going to get when I saw that advertisement pop up on my Instagram, and they were like, Thaddeus. I do know his real name. Duh. Thaddeus. Is it Thaddeus Stevens? Because at first I was like, who is Thaddeus Stevens? And then they said the cussing pastor. I said, I don't know about this one, Maddie. I don't know about this one, Maddie. But y'all, I thoroughly enjoyed this. I did. I did. I thoroughly enjoyed this. I thought it was great. Maddie, you need to take him on the road with you. And I looked at a little bit of the after show. I didn't look at the whole thing, but I looked at a little bit of the after show, and that's what you said. You said that you enjoyed him and that, and that you would take him on the road with you. I'm telling you, take him on the road. Bring him the next time you come to DC. Bring him with Miss Sophia the next time you come to DC, because I think that cussing pastor and Miss Sophia on the same stage, baby. I think, and that's no disrespect to Funky Dineva. No disrespect to Funky Dineva. I think the two of them, I think I would die laughing. I don't know if I would be able to handle it. But bring them to DC. I think you come to DC in November. Bring them with you, Maddie. Bring Miss Sophia and the cussing pastor. Bring them. That's what I want to see. Anyway, y'all, let me know what y'all think. Y'all go look at, if y'all haven't looked at the show, if y'all, some of my subscribers, and you don't know what I'm talking about, just go to YouTube, T.S. Madison, Queen Supreme Court. It'll pop right up. It's the last video. It'll pop right up. The cussing pastor. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Drop it in them comments. Peace.